Hi there, and this is one of our first blogs or vlog that really just aims to cover in roughly 5 minutes. This one probably be a little bit longer, and it's really just to cover, what has been released in Power BI. And this time round, it's the May 2020 update. And the format for the session really is to pretty much just kind of quickly watch what's sort of been released by the Power BI team, and to talk through some of the key features as quickly as possible. Let's just jump straight to the video and have a look. Okay, so here we are on the blue screen of death. No, just joking. Really, what we're going to do is just quickly walk through the video posted by the Power BI team to YouTube. And it's really a cut down version with the aim of trying to squeeze it into 5 minutes, which will not going to work this time, but next time. And really just going to kind of talk through a bit of commentary on some of the features that I've released. So let's have a look. Feature tables in Excel. Basically the concept here is in Power BI, you have some tables in the model that you've created. You nominate some of those tables as being feature tables, and then they're presented to you in Excel when you're connecting to the model. So when you go into organization, for example in Excel, you'll be presented with organization data, which are the data sets that have been certified or published, and nominated with feature tables. So the tables will be presented to you through this menu, basically. The idea is that basically you connect to the data and it gives you some sort of interaction level where you can kind of drill through the data into the model for those particular feature tables. How do you implement this? As they're showing the Power BI video on YouTube, basically it's a matter of just selecting the feature tables down here in the preview options for Power BI Desktop. You then go into the actual model and make sure that you select is featured table on, and then publish the model or the Power BI Desktop file up into the Power BI service. Apply all filters, which is a new feature that is awesome. Before you would have individual filters that are on the page, and for each filter you would then have to apply each one individually. This can be a little bit monotonous and time consuming, but now that there's a single apply filter, awesome, love it. So it's just showing us here that you basically in the query reduction you just need to select add a single apply button to the filter pane, and bam, done. Change detection. So we'll just pause this here. So you need to first create a change detection measure, which is going to be like a count distinct of an ID column preferably, and then once you have that in place, as sort of highlighting, you just need to then go to the page refresh and change the refresh type to change detection. It also shows here that the performance analyzer can now pick up change detection queries, and so you can see what's going on. Copy the query, awesome, love it. Drill through button action. So got a few different options that have come through in May. Conditional drill through, so basically just means that you can set some expressions against the button, and then it allows you to drill through to different pages depending on a table that you're referring to. I think she will show you in a sec how that's set up. Yeah, so basically you can create a table with some page values. So it's basically a table that's got values representing pages. And then down in this action section, you basically can, change the destination to be more of an expression. So I think it's more of a format, but essentially it's an expression that is just based on a field from that table that's been created. Conditional button state. So basically, you have different button states such as enabled or disabled, and it just allows you to change the format depending on what the state of the button is.
Each state, based on the user selection, the disabled tooltip was able to update to really help guide me through the steps that I need in order to make
awesome.
sure that Drill 2 is. So let's switch to desktop to see the creator's experience.
So how's it set up? You can sort of see basically again using the destination, so using the a measure, and in this case the measure is just basically checking really whether a selected value has been made. So in this case the selected value that she's checking for is to make sure that the user has selected a store before it'll allow the user to drill through to the relevant page. So page navigation is basically having dynamic page navigation to individual pages based on again a table that you create. The usefulness here is that you can use it for a image as well.
And where you can conditionally format the destination. So this conditional formatting is going to be a single select slicer anyway, so there's always going to be something selected.
So here we are, the shapes. It's basically demonstrating that shapes are now supported through actions. So now you can navigate to a page using shape. And that's quite useful because then you can just bring all kinds of wonderful shapes into your reporting, and then it allows you to create that interactivity based on that shape that you choose. Button support field pages. So this is, I think, speeded up through this, but essentially it allows you to create essentially an empty button and fill that button with whatever image you desire, and you can associate or attach that image depending on the status of that button. So if, you know, for example, on hover or on press, you can have different images pop up. So that is pretty good, and it avoids having to do a lot of workarounds that we had to do in the past. Drop shadows are always wonderful for producing like card type visuals on Power BI reports. Basically enabling it, as you can see, for shadows is just a feature that's there for enabling on visuals, but you just basically get the standard options, which is like size, the angle of the shadow, for example. All these are sort of standard features that you might see in, say, PowerPoint, for example. So decomposition tree is out of preview, so general availability, and there are some additional features. A lot of it is around the responsiveness, especially when you have to resize the visual. And there's also some AI built in, which is just choose the highest value and it'll take you from where you are to the next stage, and it will choose the factor that is relevant or the attribute that's relevant for the next highest value. So as you can see here, maintaining the path all on the one screen, which is great for telling that story interactively in meetings, for example. So the last feature we have here is like an impact analysis for a data set. So when you're basically going to publish up to the Power BI workspace, then Power BI is going, or Power BI desktop is basically going to run a check and see what components or may be impacted by changing the data set. So you may potentially break some kind of report. So it will kind of undertake that analysis and give you a very high level impact, how many workspaces might be impacted, how many reports, how many dashboards, which is really important because it can kind of upset users really quickly when their reports stop working. The great thing is here that it then gives you this option you can follow through, which is to view the impacts in Power BI service. It will kind of drill through into the web browser and show you all those impacts, as we can see. and allow you to then action with a notification to contacts on a particular component of the platform, and you can then have better communication and sort of happier customers at the end of the day. So there are some other updates that were covered which we won't go through, but you can kind of look at the blog, which we've got a link in there below. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave some feedback in the comments below. That will be immensely useful for us. And really, if you did enjoy it, perhaps hit the like button, and maybe hit the subscribe button while you're there as well. Hit all the buttons, and let's hope Microsoft keeps knocking the ball out of the park, and catch you next time. Keep being awesome.